Welcome to Challenge Bandits, you pig feet, monkey brain willy whackers. In this week's episode, we're still taking a break between season 1 and 2, but we've got an insult battle for you. So let's get straight into it.
Don't look. Right, challenge. Ooh, have an insult battle. Your insult must contain 5 words. Your opponent's insult must contain 6. Go back and forth until someone fails. A 4-second delay is a fail. Your time starts now, so I'll go. You are a smelly man.
You are an even smellier man.
Why don't you f*** off?
Why don't you really f*** off?
You are such a pain.
You are such a big pain.
Off before I... That's it. It's my 5 words.
That's not.
Off before I pop.
You f*** off before I pop.
The problem is, I hate you.
That's 6.
The problem is I... Oh,
I love the way that Jonathan is counting at the end. He's got his thumb out and he goes, the problem is 1.
Well, he was, right from the start, we know he can't count to like 5, and so he was just trying to fix it so that he would win. He was in trouble from the moment we started, though.
I love the irony that, Jonathan has an accountancy practice and he's the one that can't count.
In fairness, Jonathan did lose, but I was hanging off his coattails a little bit.
A little bit.
You'd suss that, hadn't you?
Yeah. I was just like, what's the best one? It's so hard, because an insult is usually just like 2 words, right? You might just sort of say, you dosser, or something like that. Or maybe you might be a little more elaborate, but why does your mind instantly go to, well, I'm going to form a sentence out of this? You do you, but then you might have like a 2-worded thing. So you might be like, stupid man. So you'd have a 3, that would be quite easy to do. But a 5 or 6 is actually quite hard.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. It wasn't really so much insults, if you know what I mean. Or I wonder what the line is. Just saying to somebody like F off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really think that's an insult. That's
That's
just
an instruction.
being mean or telling them, An insult's like, your hair is really bad. No girl wants to date you or something,
Yeah. Your hair is really bad.
You two stuck to more the sort of like F off or whatever.
I'm enjoying how much our commentary here is trying to be as polite as possible in explaining the world of insults. So your hair is bad. No girl wants to date you.
The thing is though, that would cut deep, I think, for some people. That's a fairly good insult, I reckon.
Yeah, it's not bad. I enjoyed Jonathan's insult of, I can't remember exactly, but he said something about get lost before I pop. And you're like, I'm not sure that's an insult.
Yeah, like a threat.
Yeah, that was definitely a threat.
I'm gonna pop.
And not a pleasant one.
Right, guys, so what I did was take your second mistake as the end of your insult battle. So next we've got Paul and Simon. So let's see how these bozos get on.
Challenge. Have an insult battle. Your insult must contain 5 words. Your opponent's insult must contain 6. Go back and forth until someone fails. A 4-second delay is a fail. Your time starts now.
I hate your stupid ears.
I hate your stupid, crappy...
I am not your friend.
Shouldn't it be 7? Should it be 5, 6, 7?
What?
We're not going up by 1 every time.
I don't know. Are we? Give us that must contain 5 way different.
Unless
That must contain 6. I don't know, unless I have 4. Go.
So do 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Go for it.
Okay. Your skinhead makes my eyes bleed.
Your ear hair just reeks.
Your Fiesta blowpipe exhaust thing sucked.
Oh man.
There was a lot of hype. I reckon, like that video. If you had Paul and Simon in an insult battle, and you lined up all our insult battles, and you said which one's going to be the most heated, I would have put money on Paul and side. But they were quite friendly.
And then it's funny with Hook, like he couldn't get through a whole insult without cracking up at the end. So he'd go, and then about word 4 he'd just start being like, ah! As he was saying the last bit. So then it doesn't sound very insulting, because then he just sounds like a chipmunk.
I think ears came up in the insults about 3 times. That's 3 ear insults.
Yeah, it's like, what was the first one? Was it like there was definitely something against size earing, and then was there something about having big ears as well?
Yeah, and then
hairy ears.
Paul's ear hair reeked.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I had no idea how ear hair reeks. I didn't know that was even possible, but it was amusing.
And how you'd know, like who goes around sniffing people's ears, to check if they're ear
So
hair.
apparently.
Yeah.
I thought the insult of Paul, which was like, your skinhead makes my eyes bleed. That's brutal.
Yeah, that's quite harsh. One.
But
And
it's
I
funny
don't-
how it can come across so kind from a friend.
Yeah. And especially when he's laughing when he's saying it. But I don't understand how, Paul jumped to the conclusion of like it was meant to be 5, 6, 7, 8. Like the instructions just clearly said, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
See, I found it interesting how out of the two of them, Paul seems more confident than Simon, because Paul looked at Simon when he insulted him, whereas Simon was very much, his eyes were forward, so he'd come up with his insults, but he couldn't look at Paul to give him his insults. It was like he didn't really mean it.
Yeah, to be fair, I think the whole not looking at Paul though was just more Si was fully focused on trying to count out the words.
True.
Whereas Paul maybe more naturally was just doing that as he was insulting.
It is ultimately counting out the words that's tripping us all up here.
Yeah.
The problem with counting with fingers is it does make it very clunky, doesn't it? We end up speaking like robots.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really flow naturally, but it almost makes it funnier.
I got to enjoy that they basically lost it at the end when just talking about the little exhaust thing that used to be on Si's car. Just for a tiny bit of context, he used to have his mum used to have a Mark 1 or Mark 2 Fiesta, and Si bought this little blue tailpipe that slots on the end of an exhaust, gets bolted in, and when the exhaust goes through it, it whistles.
He got a lot of flack for that, even back then.
Exactly. 20 years later, he still has not lived it down.
Still takes insults for it.
Now let's move over to Dave and Gary and see how these numbnuts got on.
Right, challenge. Have an insult battle. Your insults must contain 5 words. Your opponent's insult must contain 6. Go back and forth until someone fails. A 4-second delay is a fail. Your time starts now, so you go first then.
5 words. You blinking piece of poo.
You are quite old and frail.
You black-haired person. Spectacle person. Oh, it's got to be 5.
Is that 5?
You black-haired spectacle person.
Okay. You have a very small ding dong.
Your mum is a cow.
Your mum is also a cow.
You make my blood boil.
You like chairs and small feet.
You red scarf wearing imbecile.
Oh, that's actually quite harsh. That's hurt my feelings. I have never liked you at all. That's 7.
Ever.
That's a fail. I went 7.
Is that a fail? Yeah.
That's it. See, I couldn't do that last one because I really do like Cat.
I try not to swear.
So did they just walk out after like one insult fail each?
Yeah.
So no
They
winner.
called time.
They called time. That's fair enough.
I like the matching jumper colours.
Yeah. See, Dave and I think we like each other too much. I think we found it quite difficult to insult each other, really. I think we were very tame with our language, with our insults.
You're very
weren't
tame. One of your
Yeah.
insults was, "You make my blood boil."
we? That's not really an insult, is it?
Dave's rebuttal was, "You like chairs and small feet," or something.
At that point, I'd just kind of like, you know, when it first started, I turned the thing over, started to read, and just went before I carried on reading the task.
Yeah.
And just because I know, I just can't be bothered insulting people. Like, I just don't, I don't ever do it in my real life. It's just not a natural thing. I have no enjoyment out of even mock insulting people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so hard. I was like, I can't be bothered insulting Gary.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary, on the other hand, broke
Yeah.
out into "your mum" quite
Yeah.
quickly.
Oh my gosh, just brought out the mum jokes or the mum insults like straight away. Gave up on insulting Dave.
Yeah, started going for my family.
I had to go for mum because if I went for mum-in-law, it would have been too many words because mum-in-law is 3 words, isn't it?
Yeah, also Dave doesn't
does
have
that
one.
count
Yeah, I
as
don't have
one
one.
because it has hyphen? I don't know. Mum-in-law, would that be 1 word?
Yeah,
Although that's a
Dave,
good-
it's
that's a
very
good,
ding-dong.
That's a good opportunity for me to say, although I probably do have a future mum-in-law that watches these, so I'll say hi to her.
Dave, you got an announcement you want to make on
No.
YouTube?
Where's the Haribo? The Haribo Andy.
David, I think you need to clarify for me. I took it as a given, but "ding dong," I think you suggested is 1 word.
No, I
Yes.
think I done that as 2, didn't I?
No, I put a hyphen in the middle, assuming it was "ding dong" was 1
Oh,
word.
yeah.
Oh,
I thought as I said that, I saw myself do like 2 fingers.
Maybe we need to watch it again because if if Ding Dong unhyphenated,
That could have been my second
you saying
fail.
you thought it was 2, but Ding Dong unhyphenated would have been 7 words, then Dave lost.
Yeah, so that could be. We need to know that really.
According to the dictionary, it has a hyphen.
What dictionary are you looking at if it says "ding dong" in there?
If you Google ding dong word, and then it shows you hyphens on all of them.
What does it say as the meaning of Ding Dong, Gary?
Yeah, because I think it might
A
be
ding
classing
dong
it
is
as
a lively quarrel or fight. My 2 daughters had a ding dong. It's a. I think Dave and I should win because my opening gambit, "you blinking piece of poo." I mean, that's a winner in my view.
I think the best insults were from Dave, "You are old and frail," which I thought was quite good.
That's
And Paul's, "Your bald head or your baldness makes my eyes bleed." I think
Yeah.
they were the killers for me over the 3 we've seen.
So maybe we need a poll for maybe that is
Best
your
insult
poll.
Yeah,
poll.
maybe this
Best
one.
insult.
okay.
Those
Yeah.
2 in the poll.
All
Just
right.
out of all 6 of us, who done the best insult, and they can win this week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
That's a good idea.
Right, so there we are, guys. I'm going to set up a SurveyMonkey vote for you to decide who the best insult came from. But don't decide yet, because Paul and Simon decided to carry on regardless, and Matt and Jonathan also carried on. So I'm going to show you their insults as well. Here we go. Here's Paul and Simon.
Your facial hair is atrocious.
Your facial hair is atrocious too.
Okay.
I know we're going with this now.
You didn't work well, Shell.
What?
You didn't work well, Shell.
You didn't work well also, Shell? This is too easy now. This is too easy.
Shell garage job. You sucked.
Your nose belongs to a bull.
Blockbuster job. Not very good.
I'm trying to think what jobs you had. Where did you work?
We'll skip you. Domino's job. Not very good.
So essentially everything. Sorry. I think we know. I don't like. I'm a sensitive soul, Rick. Stephen has bigger balls than you.
The goose
Oh!
is more manly.
Oh! Can I just say Paul wins? I can't do it.
I mean,
I
I
think-
think that's how you end it, isn't it? Like, if you're gonna just take Sly down, bring the goose in, it's over.
Yeah.
I think Sai felt defeated. I also feel like Sai is such a nice guy. He really struggled with that one.
Yeah, exactly. Paul's much nastier, so it's much easier for him
I
to.
didn't say that.
I mean, I like how his main insults in that one was just going after Sai's job history.
Which, actually is as bad as Paul said.
Yeah, to be fair. I forgot about Blockbuster. Sai worked at Blockbuster.
Dave, how many shifts did you and Sai actually get through at the Shell Garage?
The Shell Garage, we were there at least a couple of weeks at minimum. I feel like we might have made it a month
Oh, blimey.
until we both quit.
You worked together at Domino's as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
I know the answer is at least one. But how many times did Simon fall off the Domino's bike?
At least one.
Yeah.
One bad one. That's it. I can remember one where he kind of done something to the bike because there's a whole thing about them trying to make him pay for some of it. I think.
Yeah. But the bikes were pretty horrendous, weren't they? As far as I recall,
I think that was
Sai
Sai's argument. They were dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Corner, I'm sure at the time he was moaning about the fact it was like a blind bend or something like that. So it wasn't his fault basically that he crashed.
You can't blame a blind bend on the bike.
Yeah, because you better slow down.
Sai, that's the reason he came off.
It was something. Tell you what, Sai, in the comments, please let us know the story about the bike. Let us know what happened.
Yeah. And Domino's, if you want to get involved in the conversation.
Yeah, if you want to add your perspective.
We'll invite that. Dave, speaking of jobs, I know it's not your video, but how long did you last at the fish and chip place?
that was just one day.
One shift, wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't so
One
good.
shift, yeah. I think I made up some kind of story about the fact I either had another job offer or something. But basically, I got, I didn't have to say, this place is rubbish, I don't want to work here. I thought of something more creative.
Right. So Matt and Jonathan also carried on and decided to switch up who was taking the short and long insults.
Balding twat nipple sucker man.
You are a grey-haired mug.
Pink t-shirt wearing chino twat Hulk.
You're got the number. You have got a tumour.
So aggressive. tit sucking, staple gunning, fart jumper.
Spliffle wearing, jumper beating, powder puff.
That's 6.
Yeah, but I've got to be 6. 'cause
Oh,
it'd be
6.
fine.
Oh, I thought we were saying, okay. Cum rubbing, tinsel twanging tosser.
You are upsetting me right now.
Oh, the insult!
Oh, it's not even an insult. Just how I'm feeling right now.
Label licking, labia lasting liquor.
You are a ringworm.
That's one. Yeah.
Cruncher.
Okay. Nipple tweaking, sack sucking. Numpty.
You can't even insult me now.
Lost that. Fat cleavage, hulking, soggy douche.
No vein in a dick, prick.
That's 7.
No vein in a dick. In is one word. It's a special spelling.
Inner.
It's a special
Inner.
spelling.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call.
Need to find word insult to them.
You are a.
Well, where do we start with that one? I particularly like Jonathan when he said quite slowly, "You can't," and then there was a massive pause. I thought, is he doing an accent? That was his insult.
I think that's got to go on the list of like big insults, isn't it? You can't even insult me
Now.
now. Yeah. I liked at the start as well, where he just really struggled. He was like, you.
I liked when Jonathan turned into a doctor. He diagnosed Matt.
Yeah.
You've got tumour.
Yeah, that's probably
Harsh.
one of the harsh. Yeah, because that's the kind of thing you don't want to say because you don't want to like the week later to hear from that person.
And didn't he call you a monk, Matt, as well? I mean, that's
That
right.
wouldn't surprise me at all. He's got a bit of an obsession with monks, I think.
Very, yeah.
Just like seem to have a bit of an
Incorrect.
obsession with nipples. I think I'd mentioned that at least 3 times.
Yeah.
I
There's
think
worse
you,
things to have obsessions with, of course.
I think you involved quite a lot of anatomy in yours.
Just go for the physical appearance, like shoot at what you see.
How many labias did you see?
Yeah, one in the middle of his forehead.
Oh, the insults continue.
Yeah.
That's it for this week. So tune in next week for some of the season 1 challenges that didn't make it into an episode. You now have 5 seconds to click on the next video. Your time starts now.